This is BKK1.
Yep, this is BKK1, and this is the studio down here in Pattaya City. Nice and hot outside today, around about 34 degrees. Hotter in the studio, of course. Got Brian Presson back in the studio. Brian, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you here again.
Nice to see you too.
Days of you. Looking at the book, The Last Capone, had a good read of it. I'm about halfway through so far, by the way.
Oh,
good read. Love it, love it, love it. It got some nice parts in there, juicy sections as well. Love juicy stuff. On the back of it, though, which I want to get clear. This is what I want to clear up because I'm not too sure on this. This is a portrait of a former Pattaya City brothel owner, Brian Presson. True or false?
False.
False?
Very false, yes.
Okay, tell me why it's false.
Well, I went into the go-go business for the first time in about 12 years ago now. The Japanese, my partners in real estate, wanted to start a go-go, and I knew nothing about it. So on the first day, one of the dancers was what they call bar find, which I didn't know much about at the time. So the mama-san told me, that Wimp, her name was Wimp, did not want to go with a customer, so she's going to cut her salary.
Ow.
1,500 baht. I said, cut for what? And she
Seems
said,
steep.
yeah, 1,500 baht. That's more than her daily wages, like 5 times her daily wage. I said, cut for what? And she said, because she's not going to go with the customer. I said, well, that's up to her if she wants to go with the customer.
Absolutely.
Or not. So then another character later in my book, the little devil, came up and started to negotiate and basically side with Wimp that she doesn't want to go, Brian. Why does she have to go with the customer? I said, she don't have to go. And the mama-sons got upset, and so we just fired him.
Find him on the spot. So you went from about 30 people down to about 5. I would imagine that.
Yep, the mama-sons took a lot of the ladies with them, and then we had to reboot. And it took a couple of weeks, actually. What happened in the meantime is the little devil had met with the Japanese and myself and had a negotiated freelance contract for the Thai girls.
Which is still today working.
Which is still working today, and that was her invention. What she did is she went around Walking Street and she told all the other ladies if they come and work at the glass house, not only do they not have to go with customers, but they're going to get paid 1,000 baht a day.
Which is freelance price.
Which is freelance, 1,000 baht a day. Instead of their old salary, which was 300 baht a day, they're, in essence, tripling their salary overnight. So the next day we had too many ladies. We had to turn ladies away, and we stuck with about 50 ladies at the time.
Nice.
So the word spread pretty quickly around Pattaya and then therefore around Thailand that there was a new system in town, and
Well, it definitely caught on because, it's still in place today. What made you, just to wind the clock back a little bit, we were talking off camera. Let me get this right. You were in America, yeah?
Yeah, I lived in Reno.
Yeah. And you went to an illegal or legal bar.
Yeah, well, Hub Group flew in from Chicago. They wanted to give me a contract to do cigarette deliveries for Philip Morris.
Okay.
Cigarettes, which is Marlboro brand and also Camel.
Okay.
And we were gonna deliver display cabinets all over the state of Nevada. And when he came in, we didn't have enough warehousing. I only had like 2 40-foot containers. So he said, Brian, I want to give you the contract, but I can't because you don't have enough warehousing on your lot. And he said, and so we went out gambling at the pepper mill opposite my lot. And he said, Brian, I want to give you the contract and whatnot, but I'm sorry, I can't. Hey, have you heard of this place called the Old Bridge Ranch? I said, yeah, the brothel. He goes, can you take me there? I said, oh, sure, man, let's go. So I took him there, and he, of course, went in and did his business. But I was sat at the counter with this Thai girl, 22-year-old beautiful Thai girl. And we became friends because it took like an hour or whatever for him. And then when I came out, I had her phone number.
So slow.
I came her, long time. So I had her phone number and we started chatting and whatnot. And she actually became my girlfriend for 6 years. A brilliant lady.
Did you get the contract though in the end?
I'll tell you how I got the contract.
Yeah, I was going to say, come on.
She was such a gorgeous girl and was so popular. She was making a lot of money. And at that time I was struggling a bit because I just bought my first budget franchise. And all my money was in there, and I didn't have the money to buy enough warehousing. And she actually gave me $30,000 in cash to get enough 40-foot containers so I would have a warehouse. So within a week, I had the contract with Hub Group. Yeah, it was beautiful.
What a stroke of luck.
So what a stroke of luck. And then I owed a lot to Thai prostitutes at that point, I guess.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's nice to be in debt to one of those, isn't it,
Yes.
surely? How would you like to pay it off, sir? Going from America, moving over to here, Glass House and all that, of course, and the little devil that you've spoke about, who seems that she was a bit of a pinnacle in the way that girls were working and getting paid, yeah?
Yeah, she was a breath of fresh air to Pattaya. She did a lot for the working girls of Pattaya. And like I said, her concept and her, as you know now, it still exists to this day. They're still freelance, independent contractors, and the mama sons aren't so important anymore. And now in Pattaya, it's so much better because they have done such a wonderful job eliminating underage girls in the bars and go-go's and stopping forced prostitution.
One thing I do want to, there's two things I want to just go into first of all. Yes or no question, very, very easy. Would you think that it would benefit Thailand to make prostitution legal?
Yes, it would, if the age limit was set at 20 and not 30, like they talked about
Why 30?
recently. Well, a couple of years ago, they were talking about legalizing prostitution, and they wanted to make the starting age 30, which is ridiculous because these girls, as you know, they support their families from their jobs, and a lot of them can make a good living now.
Sure.
And they're not forced to go with customers. It's very, very nice now. So why make the age 30? What are the girls going to do between 18 and 30 that don't have an education? They can't even work at 7-Eleven.
The jobs in Thailand are very far and few between, and there's very sort of like not that many jobs to go around, vacancies. So for somebody that's coming from a village, as we know, you've been to the villages, I've been to the village, you see how they live.
Yes.
It's a very poor state. So they've got really not that much education. So at the end of the day, they try and do what their friends are doing. They've got friends that are down here in Pattaya or Phuket or wherever they work, and they say, hey, come and be massage, come and do the dancing, do whatever you can do, and you'll get paid this. And then they weigh it up in their heads and think, well, I've got to do 12 hours a day in 7-Eleven, and I might get 7,000 or 8,000 baht, or I can go and dance on the stage, jump around for a bit and get 30 grand.
Well, they're going to make a lot more than 30 grand jumping around the stage.
I was being nice.
And also, they're not going to make 7,000 at 7-Eleven because they don't have a high school diploma.
Right.
And they can't work at 7-Eleven.
Oh, right.
There is the story of the little devil. She was working in a factory in Bangkok for about 4,000 baht a month at the time. Now minimum wage is up to 9 to 12,000 a month.
I think it's 400 and something by
just recently went to 400 a day.
Yeah.
So I asked the question. She was working at the time for 4,000 a month, and then she came to Pattaya, and she was instantly with her lady drinks and bonuses and whatnot, making 50,000 a month. She is now. She's 33 years old now. Has built a home for her family for 2 million baht.
Nice.
She couldn't do that working at 7-Eleven if she could have given a job at 7-Eleven. And she used to always tell me that I can't work at 7-Eleven. I didn't graduate high school. I dropped out in the 7th grade. So.
I always think that, when they get to 18, for example, they should have the right to say, I'm an adult, I can do what I want, I can make the money how I want to do it. If I want to better myself dancing or whatever I do to better my life and give my family the things that I didn't have, I don't think they should be penalised in any way. I think the government should help them. I think they should make it legal. And because all they're doing at the end of the day, the average pensioner in Thailand gets 800 baht a month. Yeah, that's 800 baht for mum and 800 baht for dad, and that's it. That's what they get as a pension.
Oh, yes, the Social Security system here.
It's shite. It's really shit,
Yes.
And, just by that girl working in a place like dancing or doing whatever she's doing, in a day she can make that kind of money, send it to her parents, and they feel a lot better and have a better life. What is wrong with that?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's their body and it's their decision.
Exactly.
And actually, when I say there's no forced prostitution in Thailand now, there really isn't forced prostitution, but there still are sex workers that can work in a place like a soapy massage and whatnot. But in the go-go's and the bars, it's much to their choice now.
It's tamed down.
They can actually make a good living without ever going with the customer and just getting their contracts and their drink bonuses. But if they do want to work in the sex trade, that's fine as well. They should be regulated and they should be checked. Like I'll give you an example in Nevada, they have to check up for STDs every week.
Right.
Yeah. So they check every week. That should be part of it, and they should get a great salary because I'm for the sex workers in this country, and they can support their families, and nobody's harmed by that.
Have their ID cards as well, like they do in Amsterdam.
Oh, by the way, they have a new system now in place where the police have now. Where they have an ID kiosk card where you can check for underage girls in the bar.
Right.
By checking their ID into the system, which is a great thing that came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
Did you mention off camera it was about 1,400 or 1,500 baht to buy or something?
Yeah, it's about, they range from like 1,400 baht to 3,000 baht for the best ones. But
basically it's like a card scanner, yes.
It's a card scanner, but it verifies their home book and their age and everything. So, a lot of times in the bars, these bar owners, they have underage girls working there. They don't even know it because their ID card is it's like their sister that looks exactly like them.
Yeah.
And there's actually people in prison right now spending 20 years in jail that didn't even know they had an underage girl in the bar. And
Wow.
I'm sure you've heard some stories like that.
I've heard a lot of stories.
These foundations that come from America and think they're doing a service, that's not the way to stop the problem. The way to stop the problem is what they're doing right now with these card reading machines, and making sure that the bar owners know there is harsh penalties for having underage girls in the bar.
And make them harsh penalties.
And make them harsh penalties as well.
Right, okay, we're going to call this part 1, all right? Because I know that you're going to come back in and do some more stuff for me over the book and more as well. We're just going to take a quick break, all right?
Okay.
Lovely. Great. Thanks, Brian.
This is BKK1.
Welcome back to the studio. Of course, it's hot outside. Been for a quick drink of water, of course, supplied by the man over there. We can talk into him in a second. But Bri, I mean, you've got better looking since last time.
Oh, wow, amazing!
You've got a guest with you. Please do tell.
Okay, well, this is Jenny.
Sorry, up, Jenny.
From One World Water. With Capone's Mill, she was one of the people that I rescued from the bar when she was underage, basically. And she wanted to start a water company which would give free water to the poor. I think she's pretty famous around Pattaya now. Her water is exploding everywhere.
Nice.
Sales are up every month. Actually, last month was the first month since she started about 2 years ago where the sales were down a bit. So please help her out because...
We will do, yeah. We'll put all the information on screen. Can I ask a question? Was she forced to go into the bar at the young age or what?
Well, what happened is her mom was involved in a bad accident. Her sister was in the university with no way to pay.
Right.
She was in the bar underage. I got her out of the bar without snitching on the bar owner, obviously. Sure. And provided her with assistance, paid her sister's education at Bangkok University for 3 years. Now she's a senior now, ready to graduate.
Nice.
And Jenny, 2 years ago, had the idea to start a water company, and since then, it's been booming. And not only does she make her own salary now, she also gives almost 100,000 baht to local charities a month. So it's an amazing story.
Wow. So, I mean, okay, we're going to put all the details on the screen about the water and all that. But, I mean, going from underage in the bar, going to supplying now water and helping the needy and giving to charity, it's a complete 360, isn't it?
Absolutely. So not only that, she's recently had a baby. I mean, she doesn't look it, but she's 20.
You've had a baby. How old are you?
She's 20 years old now. Sorry, her English is not great, yeah? So she's 20 years old now.
Easy.
6 เดือน
Yeah.
She just turned 20 recently. She has a beautiful little baby, Brianna, that's 1.5 years old now.
You look so tiny on screen.
She is tiny.
Don't adjust that. She is tiny, by the way. Everybody thinks the chairs fell down. It's not. It's just gentle.
So it's just one of 5 wonderful stories I have of ladies, children, I should say. I've been able to get out of the bars and to... all 5 of them are highly successul now. 3 of them are way more successful than me, actually, and super rich. They've married into... Oh, yeah. They don't take care of daddy, though.
Yeah.
They've married into money. And
good for them.
Then you have Jenny and a couple other ones. One's a TikTok superstar now, and one's a model in Bangkok. So it's a very good success story, which just shows what can happen in life if you have a chance.
Good. Well, good for you, yes? Well done. Yeah, good. So you're happy, yeah? Jing Jing?
Yeah.
Happy? Yeah, she's happy. Just smiles.
She's shy, too.
Doesn't matter. Listen, let me tell you guys, get one of these books, go on to Amazon, yeah?
Yes, and Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and many other websites, and all the money that comes from this book is going to the characters in the book, which are My Daughters of Trafficking and The Little Devil, and also to Hand to Hand Foundation if there's any money to be made. I don't know if it'll sell well, but if it does, great.
Well, we'll try. It's called
It's a good story.
The Last Capone. Have a read of it. It's really cool. And don't forget, Jenny and the Water. We'll put all the details on the screen.
One World Water, folks.
One World Water.
Support her water.
Support her water, and also she'll take care of you. Okay. Say goodbye. Say thank you. Swadee Khap.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you again.